This is the new Honda Civic Coupe Touring with the new 1.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine and continually variable transmission, or CVT. Now, this type of transmission is a relatively new thing for Honda, so I figured I'd show you a little bit about what it's like if maybe you're a loyal Honda shopper or otherwise someone considering a new Civic with this CVT transmission, which is the automatic transmission option. Now, I'm not going to explain how the CVT transmission works. There are a lot of videos out there on that if you want to check those out. Instead, what I want to show you here is what you feel and experience and what you don't from the driver's seat in a couple of situations. All I will say in regards to how this CVT works is this. It is a type of automatic transmission that has no preset gears, and that means that it doesn't have to rev up and down through 4 or 5 or 6 gears or whatever as you accelerate. Now the revs stay more steady, more often they're lower more of the time, and that saves fuel among other benefits. So let's take a look at a couple of different situations. Here we're going to accelerate gently up to highway speeds. Now watch the speedometer and the revs. See how the revs are staying relatively steady? They're not going up and down through each gear. And now I'm up to cruising speed and my RPMs have kind of, well, taken a set and stayed there. And since there's no shifting, it's smoother and the power comes on more steadily too. It's a more refined experience. And here, when you're driving gently, you don't even really notice the transmission doing anything at all. So we'll accelerate back up to speed here a little bit faster, a little bit more throttle. Same idea, the revs stay relatively steady. They're higher this time, but still there's no revving up and down through all the gears since, again, there are none. Need submerged? Well, let's go from about 60 to 100 clicks an hour at full throttle. Here you get this gentle surge of power, steady, the revs go up where they're needed right away and drop back as low as possible when you're done. And now full throttle from a stop up to speed. Now you see here the revs are going up and down. The CVT and engine are working together here to simulate gear shifts. And all that is programming. It's just to make the car feel a little more familiar at full throttle, as if it's kicking down into a passing gear. Because while the CVT has no preset gears, it's able to simulate having preset gears in situations like full throttle, where a feeling of having gear shifting might improve the experience from the driver's seat. Otherwise, like in older CVTs, the revs would kind of just go up and stay there, and it sounds and feels a bit funny. And in fact, since it can pretend to have gears to shift, there are even paddle shifters on the steering wheel where you get this simulated gear shift feel if you like. So, main CVT benefits? Well, basically, since your engine can spend more time at lower, steadier revs, you save fuel, and typically in a fairly decent amount too, especially if you're driving gently. And since there's no shifting, it's more smooth and refined, and since there's no kicking down or sort of matching a specific preset gear ratio to your current speed when you press the throttle harder, you get quicker access to the engine's power when you press on the accelerator. Now, for the average driver who's concerned more with comfort and mileage, this really is the way to go. There are many advantages, but if you're a sportier driver, you might not like the feeling of not shifting gears or this sort of wave-like delivery of engine power that's not interrupted by that solid jolt or shift up into the next gear and then the next gear and so on and so forth. I mean, personally, I'll take the manual transmission every time, but for someone like, say, my mom, who just wants her car to be really comfortable and smooth and good on fuel, this is a great way to do it. And if that kind of sounds like you, well, the important thing to keep in mind is you'll just never know this transmission is here. And now you know. Thanks for watching.